Today's objective is not to talk about the topic itself because we have explored this in the past conversations. But many people keep messaging me personally about this as well that what do they need, how do they deal with it. So that's one of the reasons why I thought that I'll get a feel of how many people would actually benefit from this and see if enough people raise their hand, then we can talk about it. So almost 30 people raised their hand in this particular area, which was quite interesting to know that so many people were familiar with this concept and all. And today's call's objective is to explore what needs to be done about this. So, what is this journey about, and where are you heading, and how do you need to get there? That is what I'm going to keep this conversation about. I'm not going to go in the basics of what is a twin flame connection, what is this, what is that, because we've already covered karmic connection, twin flame, and soulmate in almost a 2 hour long conversation, which is available on our YouTube channel. So you can always refer to that. I hope that you either attended that call or you have listened to that recording before you came here today. Yes, Chatra, you have a question?
Yeah, no, someone DM me just now asking to share the link for this call.
Okay, who's that?
I do not know because I do not know how to get back again simultaneously. So I didn't, I just checked the notification.
Okay, okay.
They just said, can you
Uh,
please share the link? So,
okay, ignore that because whoever was supposed to come here, I have already received the notification, so ignore that.
okay, okay.
Um,
Today, those who have
and
joined also,
sorry,
those who have joined today, they might not have got that voting this
uh,
thing, no?
yeah, but then they don't really know what this call is about.
Oh, oh, okay, okay, sir. Okay, okay.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, so that's why. Um, hmm.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So let's move forward in this conversation today. Today we will look at what is this journey about, and I'll get to you that how many of you know what about twin flame and all that. We will see if we have time for that kind of discussion. But I'll start from my side, and we'll start with the stages of this journey. What are the stages of this journey? I'll explain those stages, and that way you can see that does it resonate with you, because many of you probably still not sure if that is the case or not the case with you. So you can see whether this resonates with you and all that. And then we will take the conversation forward that what needs to be done, where you are at. You can also identify yourself that which stage you are at in this, and then we will take the conversation from there. The first half of this we will spend in this, and then the other half of this call we will spend in question and answer. So moving forward, overall, I have identified this as 7 stages that are there. So I'll share these 7 stages with you, what these 7 stages are, and then you can identify that where you are at and whether this resonates with you or not. So the journey starts, and the first stage of this journey is what we call the knowing. So this is the stage where you have always felt that there is somebody out there for you. You don't know them, you've not met them, but maybe from early childhood or teenage years or young adult time, you had a knowing in your own heart that there is somebody out there for you. Very strong knowing, like a conviction that you know that there is someone like that. And because of that reason, perhaps it is possible that even if you would have got involved in relationship, you never felt that this relationship was the relationship for you. So although you are in it and you are with the person, but it never felt like it's this is this is the one, this is the person. And it is possible for many people that even they feel like that with their own husband and wife also. So although they got married and all that, yet there is a feeling that it doesn't feel complete. So that is the knowing stage where life is going. You are having relationships and you are perhaps married also, but it just doesn't feel that this is this is the one, this is the person. So, and that doesn't mean you don't love those people. Yeah, definitely you would love them and everything, and you're loyal and you love them, and you're committed and all that. I'm just saying that in your heart there is still a feeling that perhaps this is not the person, but you don't, maybe you don't want to do anything about it, you don't want to take any action in terms of leaving them or anything, but it just doesn't feel like this is the one. So that is the knowing stage, that a characteristic of someone on a twin flame journey who feels this with very strong conviction in their own heart. The second stage is when you meet your twin flame in person. So when you meet them, you just have this feeling of like a familiarity with this person. So you may not have known this person at all. So you may not be in touch with them. You may not know anything about them. Complete stranger to you. But somehow life brought crossed your paths together, and you came to know them. You met with them, and the moment you met them, you just feel that this person is not a stranger. You just feel that you have met before. You cannot tell, but perhaps you may feel that maybe we have met somewhere before, maybe we have a common friend or something. Just looks like a very familiar person, and you feel very comfortable in their company. That person doesn't feel like a stranger to you. So that is the kind of feeling that you will get from your twin flame partner, that they will not feel like a stranger. They will just feel someone very close to you, like someone you know very deeply. Although you cannot pinpoint that from where I know this person and how I am getting these feelings, I don't know. But the feeling of that is it's just beyond that familiarity. It's not that I feel familiar, and you just feel like as if you know this person, as if you have met before. So there will be that strong feeling feeling like this when you will meet your twin flame. So that's the second stage. And then in the third stage, uh, let's suppose that you guys decide to take it forward. The next stage is what we call the honeymoon phase. And the honeymoon phase is when you will get to know this person more deeply, get to know their choices, their preferences, their likes, their dislikes, and all that. And you will feel like this is this person is just like me. So there will be so much sync and so much compatibility that you will find in this person, that will just be out of this world. It would just feel unreal that there is such kind of sync that you are feeling, that you have never met a person who understands you in this way and you understand them in such a way, and your likings and dislikings are match so much, you're so compatible in ways, it just feels very unreal to find a complete stranger and yet that stranger is so much like you, almost like a mirror image. So that would be the honeymoon phase where you just don't want to let go. You just feel that you are in so much love with this person, and you just found something which just feels too good to be true. It's just feels unreal that you could find a person like that. That's the honeymoon phase that we refer to by. Then the fourth stage that comes is what we call dark night of the soul. So dark night of the soul is when it just crashes on you and you just feel you found something so precious and so good that you have never imagined in your life that you'll find a partner like that, and your partner also feels the same thing for you. That now your insecurities, your wounds, your emotional traumas, all these things start to trigger, and you start to operate from those insecurities. That what if I lose them? What if this happens? What if that happens? So this is when your insecurities will start to show up in the relationship. That is when we say now the honeymoon phase is over. Now you know that this person is real. They are part of your life. They are real, and some time has passed that you know each other, and now your insecurities start to seep in. That you just don't want to lose them, and now your insecure attachment styles come out. Your emotional wounds, your traumas, now they start to come out and they start to show up. And this is when things starts to go south in this relationship. This is when we call you can neither live together nor you can live apart, because though when you are together with each other, you are triggering each other. You are triggering the wounds, and if you try to stay away from each other, then that is also not possible because there is so much attraction and so much sync that you feel with this person which you have never felt with anyone before. So it is almost impossible to move away, and it almost seems impossible to live together also. Because the moment you start to live together, come close to each other, you start to trigger each other's wounds. Because we all come from that unhealed state. We all carry our own childhood traumas, our own mother father wounds, inner child wounds, as well as the ancestral wounds that we talk about that are being carried forward from the lineage as well. So this is the time when those things start to come up and you both start to trigger each other. This is a very painful stage to go through. Um, Many people uh, could face a lot of physical and verbal and emotional and mental abuse during this phase also. Although um, some people are of the opinion that if such kind of abuse is happening, then it is not a twin flame connection. Um, but then there are others who believe that it is still. I believe that it is still. I don't believe that it is not. People who say that a twin flame connection cannot have physical or verbal abuse because they go by the fact that two people love each other so much. That is true. But also understand that we are coming from an unhealed state. Although we do love the partner, they do love the partner, but they are coming from an unhealed state. So the insecurities, the fears, all these things make people do things that they are not proud of, and that is also the reality of life. That this connection, this journey has come to bring those things to surface, so you can do something about it. And why that is the case, I will also tell you that that is the case. Now, compare this with other relationships which are not twin flame relationships. When things get tough, then usually people just move out. They move away. It just gets too tough. Because fights happen in any kind of relationship. Fights can happen in soulmate relationship also. Fights can happen in karmic relationships also. That has got nothing to do with the type of the relationship. If I am in an unhealed state, then I will still fight. Doesn't matter who is, God can give me the best partner that I could find in the entire universe. But if I am in an unhealed state, if I'm not capable of holding that gift, then I will still be afraid and fearful and all that. So I'll still operate from that. So the difference between this and others is that it's very easy for us to move away from karmic or uh, soulmate relationships. If things get too tough, we will try to a point. We will show our resilience, our patience, our tolerance, our understanding, compassion to certain extent. But when things get really tough and things really go out of hand, then most people will just walk away, break those relationships. Either if they are not married, then easy to break. If they are married, then go for divorce or separation or something like that. So it's easier as compared to twin flame because in twin flame there is such deep attraction between two people that it is just unimaginable to walk away from each other. You just know that you have found the person, the right person that you have always been looking for, and you know that there will never be any other person who can uh, get you as well as this person, that you just cannot move away from it. And this is the reason why this becomes very toxic in nature, because you can't walk away and you can't take it also. So, dark night of the soul becomes a very extreme toxic phase, um, which then leads to the fifth stage we call running and chasing. So when things become very hard, then obviously running and chasing starts. So you would still run away from it. You just want to not be with your twin flame, or just take a time out or whatever. Things get overwhelming, and you will not take the decision of breaking from them. But definitely, if things are not going in the way that you want, then one of the person will just get up and move away. And as they get up and move away, the other person will start to chase them. So now they go in this circle of running and chasing that we call, which leads to many cycles of running, chasing, union. It happens like that. So when the running and chasing phase starts, even when the dark night of the soul phase starts, then one of these partners, which we call divine feminine, it is usually the divine feminine. And here, divine feminine doesn't mean the woman. Divine feminine could be the man as well. In many twin flame relationships, the man can be the divine feminine and the woman can be the divine masculine. That is very much possible. So the divine feminine is the one who takes control and realize that something needs to be healed here. Something needs to be fixed here. This can't go on like this. We can't keep going on like this. So the divine feminine gets up, and usually it is the divine feminine who first come across this topic of twin flame. So majority of people come across this topic of twin flame by accident, and and it is usually, when I say usually, I'll say 99%, almost 100% cases, it is the divine feminine. So even if there are men on this call who are listening and all that, the traits that they will be showing is of a divine feminine. So they are the ones who first take control. They start to look into this. They will come across this kind of concept, and they will get to know, okay, something like this is there. They will read about it. They will read about these pages. They will start to resonate. Yes, this is resonating with my life story. This is happening with me. This has happened with me, and all that. So This is the time when such kind of information will come in your awareness. By accident, it will just come. And this is what happens for most people. It just comes by accident. And and then they will start to look into that. They will start to explore more, read more about it, and all that. So as the divine feminine starts to work on them and start to heal the parts that they need to heal, the running and chasing phase starts. So the divine, let's say the divine feminine has started to work on themselves. So they want to now go away in solitude. So they're not breaking this relationship. They're just taking a time out. They want to go in isolation. They want to heal themselves. They want to look at their wounds and they want to do the healing work. So they want some time out from this. So as they start to do that, the divine masculine will now start to chase. Mm. So this running and chasing phase starts. And then as the healing work happens more and more, the divine feminine comes in the space of more acceptance, more surrendering, that we call, and going through that phase of what we call the ego death, which we will be talking about next. As that is happening, ego death doesn't happen in one go. It happens in as a process in steps. So it dies bit by bit. It just doesn't die. So as divine feminine is healing through this process, the divine feminine. I'm just going to use he and she. So although I've already established that it's not the case, but just for language purpose, it's just easy to talk like that. So as divine feminine is working on herself and healing through her wounds and all that, she becomes more accepting. She becomes more receiving and more accommodating to what the divine masculine is going through or doing. So as that is happening, they come into a union again. They'll meet again. They'll start to live again together or whatever. And then as they do that, again triggering will happen because they still not have healed. So as that happens, again there will be a phase of separation that will happen. So they'll try for some time and then they will decide no, no, it's not possible, and they'll separate again. And then as this phase keeps going on in loop like this, divine feminine and divine masculine will go on their own journey to look into their healing and and see what needs to be fixed here so they can work together. This leads to the sixth stage of what we call the rebirth. Although this phase is called rebirth, but actually the rebirth starts with the death of the ego. So in the previous pages of Dark Night of the Soul and Running and Chasing, a lot of healing has happened, and bit by bit the ego has dissolved. And as the ego is dissolved, we call this ego death. Ego death has happened, and we term that this is a rebirth of that couple. So now they are in a much more healed state that they can come together and work together, be together. So this is what the sixth stage is. When they realize that, okay, now it feels like we are good. And then after that comes the seventh stage, which we call the sacred union, which is about them coming into union forever. As in the previous stages of separation and reunion finishes. Previously, they may have separated, come together, separated, come together. This could have happened 20 times. For many people, this phase can go on for 10, 15 years. So this phase can keep going on like that until all the wounds and all the traumas are healed, and these two feel that now they are good to come together. So the sacred union is the term given to that final reunion that happens of these two, where now they know that now they can live together. Now they can come together and and live. From here, they can go forward together. No need for that running, chasing, separation, and all that is not required. They have worked on themselves. They have mastered themselves, and now they are good to go hand in hand together. So this is what a twin flame journey overall looks like. The 7 stages of that. Uh, I'll just pause here. I've been talking. So how many people feel that this resonates with them?
What was the last seventh stage? The name of that stage?
Sacred union. We
Okay.
call it the sacred union. So this is the final reunion that happens after the separation has finished, where where no more separation is required after that. Yes. So Seema Bhaskar, Seema, you want to? There are two Seemas, so I'm just going to use the second name, surname also. Seema Bhaskar, your hand is up, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I am definitely in a twin flame journey, and it's very helpful that you segregated the journey in these stages because otherwise it's very confusing. So much is available on the internet, but sometimes nothing resonates because it's like again the clash of thoughts because some side says you are on the fourth stage, some says this. But anyhow, what I want to say, yes, it's a very different feeling once you meet your twin flame. It's nothing like your karmic or soulmate. And yeah, I met my twin flame. We were in going on with in a honeymoon period. Then suddenly we started triggering each other, and it became so toxic that we couldn't leave each other. We couldn't stay together. We used to just fight, endless fights for no reasons. Then there was a karmic female partner in my twin's life, and it's there. So before ongoing it was like a lot of loss, that insecurity I used to struggle with the insecurity that even when the person, me and he, just moved apart because it was not like manageable at all because we both had baggages from past relationships and we could see it. But this time what was different from other relationships was this, that I wanted to work on it. Earlier, it was like, I know this is there, awareness is there, and I know, and little crying and here and there, and then just like skip on to the another relationship, maybe. But this time it's different. I'm seeing a lot of changes in myself, so maybe I'm going through a rebirth. And there are few times when my ego let me be, but there are few times my ego starts controlling the things. So yeah, it's beautiful because right now in the present moment I'm not thinking of any union or something, but what I'm thinking is to work on myself because I'm thankful and grateful that I could this was a hard push from God to me, that I need to clear this, and I'm loving the part of my healing, and I'm think so that I am divine feminine, but sometimes I also feel that I'm divine masculine. So maybe a karma, I would like to be little clear with if you can help us to know how one can be sure that one is divine masculine or divine feminine. Sometimes I get confused with
Sure,
that.
sure, sure. We'll cover that. The other Seema, you also have your hand up. You want to talk?
Yeah, hi, good evening. Um,
Good
there
evening.
was, as you said, this inner knowing, so I always had this thing, but then I thought it's something to do with a girl's dreams, like there's a prince coming on a white horse and all of that. So I never really gave it much of a
That's a
thought.
very common thing. That's very common
Yes,
thing for people to write off as fantasies or as this or that. Yes, that's common.
absolutely
Uh,
right. And I have actually met my twin flame 25 years before he actually came into my life 25 years ago. He stayed on my mind for 25 years, though I never knew him personally. I've only seen him. And this is in college, I'm saying, but despite knowing, I mean, not registering so many people from my own class, this person, every single thing that I had in my memory about him stayed for those 25 years, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, I mean, this person enters my life. And that feeling that you said that you know this person from like God knows how long, that has always stayed, and I've tried to find answers, even though I came across this twin flame thing, tarot, and some all of this. But still, this quest for knowing what is it that ties us. and went through all these overwhelming stages and all of that. And right now, if I can relate my present stage, it could be to surrender, which is just maybe I'm still battling it out. It is an overwhelming and extremely painful journey, but I finally just said, like, it's enough is enough. I can't deal with this separation, so it's better I just give up on this and let things work through. And I'm focusing on myself as of now after all of that. So, from what I understood, and it was so simplistically explained by you, so I think I'm in that surrender stage. And according to what the internet says, presently I just don't want to be thinking so much about the journey as much as my own self development and what I need to do, which would definitely start reflecting on my twin. So I'm not more into trying to make him realize, though there's not much in communications in the past 4 months, you could say. It's just barely minimum, and I'm better off this way, I feel. So that let me focus on myself. Pain is still there,
Hmm.
but still it's
Hmm.
better off. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And I
Nice.
can't get the
Very nice.
station off my mind despite whatever. Can't. And of
Hmm.
course, there is always the trigger points are always there. Even now, there is a triggering. And I have been transformed literally to a great extent by this person, and it is vice versa, you could say.
Yes. Yes. That's the thing. That's what I would also want to talk about, the purpose of this journey. And Seema, the other thing, also asked this question, and you very nicely brought this up. That what is the
Yeah.
point of this journey? Why
Mm.
we have been given this kind of journey? So why someone goes through this setup? What is the point of it? I'll cover that. Let me see if there is anybody else who also resonates with this and want to say anything. Tejas, you wrote something. Can you just unmute yourself and talk?
Yeah, so my question is like how to differentiate it from the regular toxic thing, and how to like make sure that this is the TF for a journey. And I think the stages that you mentioned does resonate with me so far, and probably it is somewhere in the dark night to running and chasing, somewhere in between. That's where I think we are.
Hmm. See, that is the biggest phase in this entire journey anyway. So I've known that people on this journey for 20 years, 25 years, and out of those 25 years, they would have spent almost 20 years in these two phases. These two phases are the biggest ones. So it doesn't matter whether you recognize yourself in this or that, whether you recognize that you are in the sixth stage or fourth stage or third stage or whatever. But understand one thing, that um, many a time, this is a so what I call it. There is a study done in psychology which talks about uh, how we rate ourselves. So this pattern applies everywhere. So if I teach you, let's say, a personality model, if I teach you any model in psychology, and if I tell you that this is level one, level two, level three, like that, if I tell you like this, then human tendency is to always rate themselves higher than where they actually are and rate others lower than where they actually are. That is what our general tendency is. We always
Yeah.
overestimate ourselves and underestimate other people. So let's say, for example, if I share some concept with you which has 6 levels, and I tell you where you are, and let's say you are at level 4, but you will want to be at level 5. So you will recognize yourself as level 5. And let's say if I ask you about another person that you know, and if they are at level 4, then you would inclined towards rating them at level 3.
Hmm.
So that's a very well established study that we do that. So it's why I'm saying this is that um, don't give too much thought into this thing, because your analysis about yourself is always going to be wrong. So
Okay.
that is the reason why you need somebody else to do analysis and assessment for you, because our self assessment is always going to be skewed. We want to feel that we are at a lot better stage than where we actually are. Um, so, having said that, um, statistically speaking, most people get stuck in dark night of the soul and running chasing stage and spend most of their journey there. That is statistics. Um, the rebirth stage is the one where ego death has happened. So rebirth is not the stage where it is still happening. So that is why we are terming it as a milestone. We've given it a special stage that okay, it's complete. So while it is happening, while ego is still dying, ego death doesn't happen in one go. Ego death can take years to happen, can take decades to happen. So while that is happening, वो थोड़ा थोड़ा मर रही है, then you are still in the dark night of the soul or running chasing stage only. जब जब वो पूरा डिसॉल्व हो जाती है, जब वो पूरा खत्म है, then only we say कि अब you are that is why it's called rebirth. Otherwise, why would we call it rebirth? तो अभी भी अगर चल ही रहा है तो फिर चलने दो ना उसको, लेट इट फिनिश. तो इतनी जल्दी क्या है उसको आइडेंटिफाई करके उसको ऐसा बोलने की कि वो है. तो that is where most people are stuck, and this is where most of the healing takes place. This is a very beautiful stage also to be stuck in, provided that we are utilizing it. If we are not utilizing it, if we are just stuck in there and we are feeling miserable and we are feeling stuck, then that would be a very horrible place to get stuck in. But if we fully understand the importance of these stages and why they are there, then they are the most beautiful stages, because the actual transformation is happening in these two stages only. The other, before that, so before the three stages before that and the two stages after that, not much transformation is happening. Before Dark Night of the Soul, there is not much transformation happening. You're just only meeting the person, getting to know them, enjoying the time, and all that. There's no transformation happening. After rebirth and after sacred union, also there's not much transformation happening, because majority of the work has happened in Dark Night of the Soul and the running chasing phase. So running chasing phase is the biggest one and the most beautiful one, because this is where your transformation happens. This is where all the work happens. Seema, your hand is still up. You want to say something? Seema Sharif.
I don't know about the other one. I have a question here. That
Yes.
the ego that will happen. I understand what you're saying and got clarity also on the same. My question is, but is it like possible that because the twin souls are basically one soul splitted into two, right? According to my understanding. So, so is it possible that I am doing my healing and I am at a stage of ego death and my partner is not even like started his work? Is it quite possible that way also in twin flame journey?
Yes. It's possible. It's actually mostly that happens. That's okay. So yes, mostly that happens. That divine feminine is the one who starts the work. Divine masculine is the one who is actually rejecting the whole thing. And they are running and chasing, and all that is happening because one one understands this, the other one doesn't understand this, doesn't want to recognize this, and but they are not also doing anything. So they're still acting from unhealed state. So neither the relationship is dissolving nor the relationship is going forward. Both acting from unhealed stage, both triggering each other, both creating abusive, toxic environment. And when it becomes too much, then divine feminine is the one who's the first who gets up and start doing something about it. And at that stage, divine masculine is still sitting, not doing anything, not worried about any of these things. So in a true twin flame connection, it is believed that when divine feminine starts to work on herself and some when she starts to depict more of the divine traits, then it motivates divine masculine to now start doing something. This is a very good indication for you to know that if you are in a karmic relationship or a twin flame relationship. In a karmic relationship, even when divine feminine will get up and do something, the masculine will just keep sitting there. So in a karmic relationship, the masculine doesn't get motivated, doesn't get inspired to do anything. And those are also very easy to break relationships also. When I say easy to break, I am again using this terminology in comparison to twin flame. So still may not be very easy because there could be a lot of things involved, logistics, family, and kids, and many other things are involved. So when I say easy, I don't mean easy in that way, but definitely easier as compared to twin flame, because twin flame has this added complexity of a real deep connection that you feel for the other person. That you just know that you can't live without them. So even if everything is so toxic and everything is so horrible and everything, you just still know that you cannot live without them. So it's gut wrenching that way. So from that point of view, I say that other breakups are not easier.
Yeah,
Um,
so Akarma, even when it comes to karmic relationships, sometimes the depths are so much that it's not easy to break from them. So maybe when I see my journey, I see my karmic partner that was I was married to. It was not that easy to break from it. When it's if I compare it to my twin flame, it's like I'm apart, but I'm still with him, connected through my soul and all, and I have some strange kind of love, even after so many bad fights and all. This I didn't had this feeling when I was in a karmic relationship. Am I like right, or am I like
mm,
I mean,
mm. That's right. Yeah,
okay,
that's
thank
correct. Yeah. Anusha, you have your hand up. Yes, go ahead.
So, see, I didn't have much knowledge about this thinking, but what I understand is I have been in place one, I will say one a couple of times, but have
Your
never
voice is your voice is echoing a little bit. So, is it
now.
possible you come to?
Audible
Mm,
now?
yes,
Is it
that's
better now?
much better.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Yes,
think
yes.
I have been in stage one and never, I mean, it looks so dreamy. It's something which I have desired since childhood that, stage two, three, and all. But am I lying to myself, or I have never been in twin flame stage? Or is it something which can happen in the future?
Um, I don't know what to say. I mean, what is the question?
I mean,
I
my
don't know
question is like,
whether you are.
so, I mean, all these things looks very attractive, but it's just that I have never been in any of these stages, three, four, or like even two for that matter. So it simply means that I have never found a twin flame, right?
Possibly, yes. If you have not experienced these stages that I just talked about, then yes.
Um, like in hypothetical conditions, maybe I have wished these things happen. But if I haven't never experienced it in person, then I think I have never had, right? I have never met the twin flame.
Hmm. Correct. Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No problem. Yes, Payal, you wanted to ask something or say something?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, with my husband, we were married for 14 years, after which I left him. So I don't think that it was a twin flame connection because it was not that difficult for me mentally to disconnect from him because we were never compatible. But then I was in a relationship with a person since last 4 years and we connected instantly. And that was the most beautiful relationship of my life. And I learned a lot from him. Like, he taught me to be independent, to live life, to not think too much. And then we disconnected. But still, the feelings I have for him or the way I'm drawn to him, I've never felt it for anybody else. And again, we have
Hmm.
reconnected. It's a very different
Hmm.
kind of a friendship. I feel very calm or very secure. And I can share anything. Like, he's one person who knows each and everything about my life more than my
Hmm.
friends for last 30 years. And I
Hmm.
think I
Hmm.
also somewhat I teach him calmness because he's very um, erratic and all that. So I think he learned that from me. I don't know whether
Right.
what do you want to say on this, or
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
feel it.
as I
Uh,
said that, sorry, you're not audible, Payal.
uh, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So mm, I feel that it is some divine connection. There is something.
Okay. 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 Um, cool. Cool. So it's possible that if you are resonating with this, see, one of the criteria is this is a concept which nobody can actually tell you that it is or not. It is the information can be presented to you, and you can be the one who can say this because you are the one going through this.
Yeah. Right.
So, Anusha or anyone on the call, Sima, all the people who are listening, or Tejas, same thing that anyone can share the stages, the information, and all these things with you. I can share this with you, but you are the one who's experiencing the relationship. You are the one who knows the feelings, the emotions, and the depth, and all that. So only you can tell whether you are in a twin flame relationship or not. However, one thing that would be common for all the people are the stages. Stages will be common. This pattern is going to be there. It will play out in many different shapes or forms. But if you will uh, look through the pattern, then you will see that this pattern is going on. And many a time, a karmic relationship or a soulmate relationship initially also may look like twin flame because the first three stages of knowing or feeling familiar with someone or having that honeymoon period and all that can happen with a karmic relationship, and that can happen with a soulmate relationship also. So you could feel attracted to those people, and you could feel that there's so much sync and all that. It's not just that you will only have with your twin flame. So there are other people also that you could actually feel this with. Um, but the real test of this thing will start to come in the dark night of the soul and running chasing phase. Real test will come there. Because a real twin flame journey is the one in which when one person starts to work on themselves, the other person energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally, in all the ways, feel energetic to start working on themselves as well. So this is a good indication that if your partner is doing that, then there's a good um, chance that you are in a twin flame journey. If your partner is not doing that, then there is a good chance that you are in a karmic relationship. So that's the criteria I can tell you, which only you would know that which way it is. I wouldn't know that because I don't know the depth of your relationships and we have not talked about it. So you can see that which way it is. Does your partner support you? And now in a soulmate relationship, this could happen that your partner could be very supportive of your growth. Um, and they will cheer for your growth. So you are doing something, and that's what Payal is talking about. So again, Payal, I'm not saying that it is. I'm just using your example that you are giving. So that's what Payal is saying that my partner is very supportive about this and that. So a soulmate relationship can be the one where the partner will be very supportive of what you are doing, but they themselves are not doing anything for their growth. They're just supportive for you. That is not a twin flame connection, because in twin flame connection both partners need to evolve and come to a point. Why? Because there is a shared purpose. That is what we will be coming to. um, in a soulmate or in a karmic relationship, there is no shared purpose. The soulmate and karmic relationships are more about bringing your triggers to surface and helping you to heal through them. Twin flame is also about that. Twin flame also triggers you and brings your wounds to surface. But twin flame has a higher purpose to it. It's not just about that. These other relationships are only about that. So once the healing has happened, those relationships finish. Um, Once you are, if you are in a karmic relationship with someone, even if that is your husband or wife, once you have healed, those relationships often finish. And when I say finish, I don't necessarily mean people take divorce only, because many people decide not to take divorce and still stay separate and live a life like that for whatever reason, for family, society, kids, this, that. But in my opinion, it's a broken connection anyway. So I'm not going by the legal definition of it. I'm going by the fact that two people are not in a relationship anymore. They're not living together. They're not enjoying. So legally, they may still be married, but there is nothing left. So to me, it's still separation. So no contact. Um, so guys, it's best that we just talk, because I'm not able to just read the messages and this. So whenever the time is, just put your hand up and then we will just talk. So please don't write comments. Just raise your hand and let's just talk. Um, yes. So what was I saying? That in a the true um, criteria for a twin flame relationship is that when one person is working on themselves, the other will also get up and do something. Now, they may not get up and do something about it immediately. That may not be, your timelines may not match. Maybe it might take them a year to get up and do something about it. But eventually they will. Eventually they will. They will experience an energetic shift in themselves. They will see you, they will see inspired by you, and the connection is so important for them that they know that they have to also up their game if they want to come in union with you again. So they can see that you are becoming a changed person, you are becoming more what we call coming in your more divine power. And in order for them to match up to you and keep this connection going, they would also match up for that. This will not happen in karmic or soulmate relationships. Soulmate relationships are just two comfortable relationships. So your soulmate could be a person who can be cheering for your growth and supporting you for your growth, but they themselves may not be doing anything about their own growth. So this is when two people just start to grow apart. So twin flames don't grow apart. twin flames grow together because there is a shared purpose for this. Yes, Seema, your hand is up.
So if twin flames don't grow apart, like, but there is a separation phase, but we are energetically, I'm connected. I feel that, and I'm sure he must be feeling that too. In one of the this open mic conversations, Karma, you said if the twin flame is not healed, then they also behave like a karmic only, right?
Correct,
You Yeah, so I
correct,
think it was,
correct.
yeah, so it was, I think, in my clarity call with you. Yeah, so yeah, definitely it's like that. My now question is this, I'm curious to know why, see, there can be a masculine, there can be a feminine. Why twin flames are called divine masculine and divine feminine? I mean, why the word divine is like connected to them? I'm curious to know that.
Um, so that coming to your question that you also asked about masculine. So to answer that question, let me say that there is a bigger purpose for the twin flame journey, and the bigger purpose is that twin flames are what we call the master soul. So
Okay.
they are given the objective. The purpose of twin flame soul is to help um, progress the human race further. So,
Okay.
so, so twin flames naturally have a tendency from childhood itself, even when they
Mm,
don't even know that they have a twin or they are a twin flame. From
mm,
childhood itself, they have um, this need to what you call to do something for others. They're always driven by a need or a desire to do something for others. So this is a very common thing among twin flames, and
So,
and this is the reason why they are called master souls, because their objective is to help people grow. And in order for you to help someone grow, you have to
mm,
go through hell yourself first. So
yeah,
you have to
yeah,
earn that. You have to earn that position. You
yeah,
have to earn that
mhm,
position to come in front of someone and say that I can guide you,
yeah,
because you need to go through hell yourself to then
mm,
claim that you can now guide another person in this or for anything.
definitely, definitely. So, I'm actually forgotten the question. I'll just try to recall. It was just like there when we were talking, and now it's just gone. So, just a sec, I'll just recall it.
Okay. So, so the shared purpose that they have is to come together and do um, something good. In fact, most twin flames, when they come together in their early days, in their meeting phase or the honeymoon phase,
Mm,
they tend to have common goals. They tend to have common vision also. So
yeah,
it is very common for twin flames to be. This is one of the things where they align, because it's not just the food preferences or clothes preferences or TV serial preferences we are talking about, but even the
yeah,
life paths are very similar.
yeah,
So, so one of the reasons why they align very well with each other, because the life paths are almost similar,
right.
um, and they resonate very well. The only thing is that yes, their life paths are similar, and this is their shared purpose to go forward on this, but they are not ready because of their own traumas and their own wounds and their own unhealed state. They are not
Yeah,
ready to come together as a team and work towards it, and that is why I said that the rebirth is about them sorting all that raita in their life and then coming to that stage where they can now come together and work on this shared purpose.
right. Right. So, if we see, like, not people from the perspective of twin flame, soulmate, or karmic, just like, wanted to just clarify with you is that if a person, like you said, that even when they don't know there is a twin that exists in the childhood, so maybe one of the qualities could be that the person is being a giver, I mean, when I say giver, giver in the sense like they like to just help people and they do the best. Like some people really think and help, but givers generally are in a habit of giving. So can that be one of the traits of one of the like twins if we want to like identify in ourselves? Just wanted to know this.
Uh, See, again, it's a very vague quality because anybody can be in any relationship can be a giver. We cannot really map it like this.
No,
So
giver
it
in the
would be this.
sense, not in the relationship, but in totality. Like
No,
when it comes to,
I
yeah,
understand, but there is no such thing that that all givers are twin flames.
yeah, okay, okay.
So so yeah, so I would if I say yes, then we cannot just make it that okay, if someone is a giver, then someone is. So it's not like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So twin flames may be givers, but not all givers are twin
yeah, 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 exactly. Exactly. No, I'm saying one of the qualities, if I want to identify with myself, like, so I like if I'm trying to understand my purpose because that is how it is getting like aligned, and the visions come in the meditations, and lot many things are happening with me. So
Like I said,
just
that the purpose is always one. The purpose
yeah,
is always the higher level purpose is always to do something for the people. So they
yeah,
are always
exactly.
doing that. Now they may be doing it in many different ways. Someone could actually join and create an NGO for women or
Mm-hmm.
kids or whatever. So someone might be doing
Mm-hmm.
something for the animals or for the climate or for whatever. So
Yeah,
they could be in many different fields. They could be doctors, they could be engineers, they could be CAs, they could be anything. And whatever they are doing, they're not
mm,
doing it as a profession or as something that they are earning money from. They have a
yeah,
much bigger vision for that,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
right?
That's what
So
I meant with the
that
giver. Yeah,
yeah, so they always had a bigger purpose to what they do. It's not just about that I'll become a doctor because I can earn a lot of money and I can buy so many cars and I can buy so many houses and all that. So they will always be driven by something bigger, which is about others, which is about betterment of the society, betterment of people in
exactly.
whichever way,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And
Right.
both twins will have very very similar kind of. I won't say same because they are two different people coming from two different backgrounds,
Yeah,
um, but they will have very similar thought process and very similar purpose, which aligns very beautifully when they both meet. It almost sounds like I was also thinking this, and he was also, or she was also thinking this. So it's
yeah,
like that. So it's very
yeah,
easy for them to just align it because they were all almost on the same path anyway. Separately, they were on the same path, and now they just have come together and they've joined forces. The only
mm.
problem is that in honeymoon phase, it sounds too good to be true. But then, as the unhealed state starts to get triggered, then they can't live with each other. Forget about working with each other; they can't even
Yeah,
live with each other.
yeah,
So that is when they
exactly.
have to sort out all those things and fix all those things so they can be come together and live that purpose.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, the next thing that happens in this process is this concept of divine feminine and divine masculine. So initially we use these terms because in an unhealed state, we are talking about the toxic masculine or the toxic what you call it toxic feminine. They both come from a toxic wounded state. But when we say that it's the divine feminine that takes the charge and starts the healing process, that divine feminine is not divine feminine at that. It is still toxic feminine or it is still wounded feminine, but it is going to become divine feminine. That's why we keep referring it to divine feminine because it's on the way to become that now. It's realized that we can't live like this. Something needs to change. This is enough. So it's the wounded
Okay.
feminine, the toxic feminine that gets up and start doing something to become divine feminine. However, divine feminine and divine masculine is only a term that we use to define something. Um, in reality, they are not two. So when
Mm.
you actually reach the divine state, come out from the toxic. So toxic masculine or masculine and feminine are very clear to distinguish. But a
Mm.
divine feminine and divine masculine is actually not two; they are one. So it's better to call it a divine energy than divine feminine energy or divine masculine energy. It's actually one. It's just a divine energy.
Mm.
So it just merges into one, which means that the same person, the same person after healing, after going through the whole cycle of healing and looking at their wounds and all that, ultimately develop both within them and becomes divine feminine and divine masculine themselves. So a physical reunion is not required.
Okay.
That is the sacred union that we talk about. The sacred union is when the person has developed both themselves
Okay.
and come to a stage where the only reason the other person was there in their life was so they can go on this journey. So the other person, other partner, was just a gimmick. Because if the other partner was not there, they would have abandoned this journey much before.
Yeah. So beautiful. So
So
beautiful.
the
And
other
so deep.
person, other person was only there as an anchor because वो एक prize था, एक carrot on the stick था.
Yeah.
तो वो carrot on the stick के लिए the person went through dark night of the soul, running, chasing and all that. Ultimately realized कि ये तो सिर्फ carrot था, मुझे तो जरूरत भी नहीं थी इसकी.
Yeah, that is later, but that when you're going through, then the ego will, because you're
हाँ तो
also
इसीलिए
decided.
तो है ना, इसीलिए तो
Yeah,
वो है ना, दैट इज द रीजन
yeah,
व्हाई इट्स देयर बिकॉज अगर वो नहीं होगा तो पीपल विल नॉट गो थ्रू दैट स्टेज बिकॉज फिर प्राइज ही नहीं है ना कोई.
yeah, I know. I know. And when you look back, it's like it's like what I was like fighting for. Like there is nothing to fight about. And
Exactly,
so
exactly,
is
because
are there
then the person doesn't matter.
yeah, person he doesn't matter. That's what I said. So when I see sometimes when my ego tells me because I know I'm in a rebirth stage, so I get angry, but immediately I'm like, why I'm angry? Like what I'm angry for? He's a different person and he has a right to choose somebody else upon me. And so that's just an example that I'm giving. So are there any
Yeah,
false twins also? Like I was reading about this. So are this concept is true
these it's
that there
the
can be
it's
false
the
twins.
yeah, false twins that people talk about, in my opinion, they're actually referring to the karmic relationship only because
Okay.
um, many karmic relationships appear that way.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that most karmic relationships to this kind of level, most romantic and this kind
Platonic
will
also.
appear
Yeah.
that way um, when the partner is not moving. So when you know that only one person is on the healing journey, the other person has like doesn't really matter to them what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so they still stay in their own hurt and in their own unhealed state, and
Yeah.
and they and they keep triggering or they keep trying to trigger, and after a while, you just know that. So they will give up if you are not getting triggered or whatever, or you just heal through that process that this does not matter to you anymore. So they
Mm.
they grow apart. They grow apart. Soulmates also grow apart. Karmic partners also grow apart. Twin flames don't grow apart. Twin flames grow together. That's the distinction between these three.
So when you say grow together, so yeah, like you're saying, the person can choose not to be like awakened. Maybe the feminine does that before, but definitely after a whatever period of time they have to, because I feel even when they are twins, they both are individual and they both have an individual journey. To become a master soul, they need to go through their journey. So maybe the feminine has been able to go through the karmic depths, and the male masculine is still on that journey. So
Correct.
waiting for him uh, is not a good idea because that's very frustrating, and it's like you are just standing for nothing, and it's not practically one cannot do it even if you do it for 15 days, 20 days. Your soul starts telling you that what you are like. So there will be a lot of purges and all, and I think it's a beautiful journey to discover yourself. Maybe that's what divine means, like going through the, like the entire process of this purging and pain and everything, so that you become a master healer. Only then, and I always have believed this, that a good healer is one who has healed him or herself first, because you cannot heal people unless you have done your own healing.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Tejas, your hand is up. You
Yeah,
want to say
yeah.
something?
I think I had three questions, but you have answered two already. So thank you so much. And
But
one,
Tejas, I'm not going to take any questions about the basics. I already said that
hmm,
I'm not going to be
yeah,
taking any basics questions. So we are only going to be talking on this topic, what we're talking.
yeah, yeah. So regarding that, like you said, they share a greater purpose. Uh, does that happen from the beginning, or they can happen somewhere on the journey? That is question.
It is usually already there. Like I said that a twin or like the twins already on their path.
Okay,
It's not that they come together and come up with a purpose. This is one of the reasons why they get attracted to each other to begin with. So they are already on it. They are already. So let's say one is into I don't know, fashion design. The other one will also be in the same field, and they will already be doing something in that area, and that is one of the reasons of alignment for them. The purpose, shared purpose, is not something they come up with. It's already there. So they just realize that we are both doing the same thing anyway. So why not do it together? Does that make
okay.
sense?
Yeah, yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So some of these things are very clear cut criteria that I'm telling you, because there are a lot of misconceptions and confusions around what is twin flame and what is not twin flame. So there are few things which are very clear cut. And like few criteria that will always be there. Shared purpose will always be there between the two. Life paths will be very similar. I won't say same, but like 90-95% similar things. And they are already on it. They both are already on it. Their life has already started going down that track, and then they meet. So that will be there. Second, as I mentioned, they will both be inspired by each other to work on themselves. Not that one is motivating the other. No, they are getting inspired by each other. So when motivation is happening, when one is motivating you, cheering you, and all that, those things can happen in a soulmate relationship. Uh, it can happen in twin flame also. They can motivate each other as well. However, inspiration is more. So they see each other becoming more beautiful each day by healing and all that, and that inspires the other person to also work on themselves. So there is an element of growing together. This is what we call growing together. So
More
that
of a
that element
resonance,
will be there. Sorry.
more of a resonance of each other.
All right. And another thing which is extremely common in twin flame is like unbelievable sexual attraction. That's just there, like unbelievable sexual attraction between the two people. So that's one of the reasons why they cannot separate from each other. So even when they go apart, they just can't go apart. There's just way too much sexual attraction between the two. Just, out of this world kind of a thing that they have not experienced with any other partner before, or they have never felt like that for anybody else before.
Sorry to
So
say
they
in
will
between,
describe.
but my twin flame, he just got married few days
Sorry.
back. So how is it possible? I'm not able to understand that how the journey must be same.
Yeah, so like I said, see, again, there are that's different. So the people can take those kind of decisions, and let's say there's some disturbance. Apurva, can you mute yourself? There's some noise coming. When you want to talk, you can unmute. So when we were discussing that during the healing process, let's say the divine feminine has got up and started working on herself. Divine masculine hasn't got up yet. So it is going to take them time to realize that they also need to work on themselves and work on this connection. But it will take them time. So, like I said, I know people who have been on this journey for 25, 30 years, and they are stuck in this phase for 20 years. They've been waiting for their partner to do something. So they do a little bit, and then they come together, and then they come in union, then they trigger each other again, and then they go apart. So this is what keeps happening. It's not that they are not doing anything, but they're not doing enough. And many a times it happens that the divine feminine gets fed up with this waiting and all that, and it decides that, okay, this partner is ideal. It would be great for me to have this. But then if he is not available, then I'm not going to wait for the rest of my life. I'm okay to go ahead with with the next best thing that I'm getting as well. So I'm not going to keep waiting. I'm not going to keep waiting for life to happen for me. So yes, agreed that this is that we have very good connection and all that and all that. But then it's not happening. So I can't keep waiting. And I'm very much happy with another. So there could be other more beautiful soulmate relationships in your life as well that could be equally fulfilling, and they decide to go ahead with that. So there are many twin flames who know that they are twin flames, but they're not married to each other. Not every twin flame has to marry with each other. They decide that no, they recognize that yes, I recognize that I have a twin flame connection with this person, but I'm very much happy with my wife, or I'm very much happy with my husband. I don't want to leave them. So just because this person has come and I find this kind of resonance and that kind of resonance and all that, so they, because the purpose is not union of two people, the purpose is for them to live a shared purpose. That can happen without marrying the other person also. Does that answer your question in any way, Apurva?
Yeah.
uh, Many people make twin flame connection about union with the other person. I think that is where things become very toxic and very
But one
hard.
thing is very sure, like in what I am facing is like he was not at all awakened for anything. He was not that spiritual. He was not that into anything like healing or something like that. And I was already into. I mean, I was already in the process before meeting him in fact. So for me, it's like slightly scary. Many a times while we were while and the time I come to know that he gets married, that was also zone with when I was like totally drained for 3 4 days. I was like, what the hell is this now? I was like, everyone was saying twin flame का तो reunion होता है, union होता है, ये वो. Then it was like, अरे यार अब कुछ नहीं होना, अब क्या? Now what? अब फिर से आप वहीं आ गए हो question mark. So I mean, for me it's like कि ये क्या अब ये इसका क्या रिक्वायरमेंट था जब किसी को आ, आना ही नहीं होता है तो फिर वो उनको भेजा क्यों जाता है इट्स लाइक दैट
I think
तो
I think you joined late now. So I actually covered 7 stages and we covered this
I
part in that
listen the
one. कि ये
call
ऐसा
again
क्यों है?
then you will upload it yeah
हाँ 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 क्योंकि हम ये कवर कर चुके हैं.
it's
So
okay no issues I will listen it twice when you will upload in the
ठीक है.
on your channel
हाँ 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 हाँ. Then after listening, if you have questions, then you can
sure
ask about it.
definitely yeah
हाँ. So I covered it in very great length that कि ये क्यों हो रहा है और कैसे ये stage क्यों, why this loop is happening
just one thing
and
more
all
I
that.
want to ask like we have a purpose that when you are going through with that, I was listening that. So is it essential that the other team they also have a purpose? They will
Yes,
also
it is
proceed with
essential.
the
Yes, it is essential. This is what I'm saying that there are
either
few
they take
things
more
that are
time and either we can do it in few years. They might take much time in that. Is it possible?
what are you talking about? Few time in what?
Uh, the purpose to know that we are having a purpose. So both the twin flames they can
Uh,
take the different time to actually think of that their life is need to be for others.
no, no, no. Simple answer is no. So I'm saying that
Okay.
um, I'm saying that there is an echo. So if you can just mute yourself.
Yeah.
Um, so what I'm saying is that uh, twin flames, whether they know each other or they don't know each other, are already on the life path of on of their purpose. So whatever the purpose is, they are already on it. Even when they are not met each other. तो उनका जो भी रहेगा जो भी वो करे वो ऑलरेडी कर रहे हैं वो मिल के नहीं कुछ डिसाइड करते या मिल के ऐसा नहीं कि बाद में मेरा तो हो गया दूसरे का बाद में पता चलेगा ऐसा नहीं that's not some criteria are very clearly there some in fact these are the things which you should look at to um, actually evaluate ki, are you really in a twin flame relationship or is it a karmic relationship क्योंकि some criteria are very set अब आपको इग्नोर करना है तो अलग बात है but some criteria are very set and I as I've mentioned shared purpose is one un unimaginable sexual attraction is the other one which is there and what was the third one I forgot एक और भी मैंने अभी बताया था तो अभी मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा but recording पे तो there are few things which are there which is what that they grow together. So if your partner is not moving, not doing anything, ठीक है हम ये करते हैं कि वी गिव बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट कि हम थोड़ा सा टाइम इसमें कर देते हैं कि लेट्स से कि आपने आज अपना काम शुरू किया है एज अ डिवाइन फेमिनिन यू रियलाइज कि मेरे को अपनी हीलिंग करनी है आपने आज उठ के काम करना शुरू कर दिया आपका डिवाइन काउंटर पार्ट हो सकता है स्ट्रेट अवे नहीं करेगा तो let's give them 6 months, let's give them 1 year, let's give them 2 years or whatever. But 5 साल हो गए 10 साल हो गए वो अभी भी वहीं के वहीं बैठे हैं और आप बोल रहे हो कि वो ट्विन फ्लेम है तो आई रियली क्वेश्चन दैट तो मैं यही बोलूंगा कि क्या मिल रहा है इस डिल्यूजन को पाल के आप क्योंकि वो नहीं है फिर क्योंकि वो होते तो वो उठते और वो करते इतना टाइम नहीं हो जाता है अगर इफ योर हीलिंग हैज स्टार्टेड then you will start to see an energetic shift in the other person, and the other person will feel motivated to do something and honor this connection. So if they are not doing it, then there is a very good indication कि आपने गलत assessment कर लिया. So that's all I can say. Because some things are very crystal clear in this. Some criteria are very crystal clear. Many things are gray. Some things are quite crystal clear. Um, Apurva, do you have anything else to say as well? Your hand is up.
No, I forgot
Okay,
to put it down. Thank you so much.
okay, no problem. Uh, Srilatha, you have something to say?
Yes, I wanted to just add in saying that like shared values are the point also where you can recognize your twin flame because whatever value you have, the same thing will be mirrored by the twin flame. If the other person, if suppose I'm honest, then my twin flame will be also be honest. It can't be the other way. And if I'm loyal, my twin flame will also be loyal. So there are some values, shared values, which cannot be changed. And
There will be lot of compatibility, not just only shared values, lot of shared beliefs, lot of similar ways of doing things,
uh,
thinking same way,
yes, I'm
preferring.
saying because I experienced this with my, it's a live example. I was actually trying to test this mirroring effect. I was mirroring my karmic partner and I was mirroring my twin flame to test who is my really my twin flame because I do not want to live in the delusional world for long. It's been 10 years now. I have not been in contact with him, but I can know everything about him. It's like
Hmm,
I can live his experience. The telepathy is so strong, I can feel it. But with my
hmm,
karmic partner, he was also telepathically connected to me because we have a shared past lives. So, because of which I almost got, I was like fooled kind of that I thought my karmic
hmm,
partner is my twin flame. But then the value system came in picture. I was sure he was not my twin flame because I was being honest. He kept on lying. If it was my twin flame, he would have been honest on my face. He would have been ruthless like me, and he would have told it. So there is something like this to recognize. If you're changing yourself, you'll definitely see the change in your twin flame. It will take time, but you will see it.
hmm.
Even the purpose.
Right.
When you start working towards the purpose, you will see they will join you. It's dependent, like if you want to do it in 3D together or not.
Hmm,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Thanks, Srilatha. So, um, yeah. So as we talked about that, as you know, that twin flame is a mirrored soul. It's the same soul. It's not even similar. It's the same soul, which means the blueprint is same. Which means that um, the purpose, the values, the preferences, everything will so much be compatible and so much be similar that it just sounds too good to be true. However, since two people are born in two different bodies and in two different environments and two different families, maybe two different countries altogether, so um, so that will also bring some layers of conditioning on them. And those layers of conditioning, those wounds, those traumas, those ancestral wounds is what needs to be taken care of in this journey. That is what the dark night of the soul and running chasing phase is all about, to take care of those things. So spread those layers, uh, work on those layers, get rid of those layers, so then both can come in harmony with each other and can move on the shared purpose that they are born for. So this is very clear cut criteria. And if you are not seeing this, then perhaps I will ask that why not? So why you are ignoring to these signs then? So that something which I would ask. Um, yeah, so this is it. Yeah, so basically, as I said, that today the objective was to talk about these stages, and so you can all see that where you belong, in which stage, what you resonate with, and all that. Um, so my objective was that many people have been asking about this. Like I keep getting personal messages around this from few people, and then I thought that maybe I'll just put a message out and see how many people are interested, because I would like to start a group coaching session on this topic from January. That is what my objective is. That if you are someone who is in those two phases, dark night of the soul and running chasing, if you are still going through your healing process and working towards that ego death phase, that rebirth phase, then perhaps this that would be the group for you to join. However, I will only be working with 7 people. That is what I would do, because this work requires a lot of commitment, time commitment, and all that. So I want to make sure that we are giving. I don't want to have like a group of 50, 100 people and all that. Then there is no work happening. So I
Please
would work
consider
with
me in.
7. Yeah. So 7 people is what I have decided, that the batch size will be limited to 7 people. Hopefully start in January, and the first commitment would be for 3 months. So let's commit ourselves to the process for 3 months. Now, I cannot tell you individually how long it will take you to get there. Right? We can only work towards it. Um, each individual work on their own pace. So I can guide the process. I can guide that. Okay, week to week, let's do this. Let's get there and all that. So I can guide the process. But then, who's doing with how much intention, how much commitment, how much hard work, and whatever you are doing, I don't know. So I'll say that let's let's commit to at least 3 months. Let's see how where we get in 3 months. But the objective is for those two phases to complete, to get you out of that hole of the dark night and the running chasing, and let's just put something systematic to get you out of the hole. That is what my intention is. Um, so yeah, so my I don't know how long it will take, 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, 60 years. I don't know, but let's see 3 months where you get to, wherever you get to, you will know that now you're out or not out, or how much more time you need and all that. But at least there will be some systematic guided way to get out of the hole from there. So that's what my intention was. Um, yeah. I'll get back to, so just message me, whoever is interested in this. Message me that if you would like to be part of that. And we'll start from January, and hopefully that will be a good year for those who are stuck in this rut for some time, because I know that this is a very, very hard process. Um, as I mentioned, that um, coming from a personal experience, whatever I have spoken in 1 hour, whatever I can speak is whatever I can speak. But um, I was stuck in this these two phases for 3 years myself, and I feel that I'm very lucky that I got out of this thing in 5 years, because I have known people who are still stuck for 25, 30 years. During this all these phases, I met many people, and I kind of, yeah, I was involved in those circles and all that. So I've heard so many stories, and I know that I feel lucky. I feel very lucky that this thing finished for me in 5 years. So I feel very lucky about that. So whereas I know that people have been stuck for decades in this thing. Um, but I was lucky to find the right kind of guidance and the right kind of people to help me out of this hole. And I know that how important it is. Otherwise, Otherwise, we are stuck. So, um, so this is the reason I'm doing this, because like I said that few people here know, and they have messaged me personally. They wanted guidance and all that. So I thought, okay, let's make it more official. Let's make it uh, uh, because this can be done as a group coaching. This can be done in a systematic way, because this is all about working on the divine feminine, and getting the divine feminine out, and working through that. So yeah, that's basically it. Whoever is interested, message me, and then we will see. Um, I would, whoever messages me, I would then have a chat with them to see that whether this work will be effective for them or not, whether they are ready for this or not. So right now, I'm not saying that whoever message me is what I'm going to put in the group. So there is still a level of evaluation I'll do, because I'll only work with 7 people. So I'll do a little bit of evaluation and see that you are ready to commit to this process, and this process is going to in fact benefit you. If it's not going to benefit you, I'll tell you that as well. So whoever is ready, just message me and we'll take it from there. That's all I can say. Srilata, your hand is up. You want to say something?
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice it was a. No, not much.
Sorry.
I forgot
Oh,
that
okay.
it
No.
was up. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yes, Chet, your hand is up.
Yes, sir. The thing is, I'm not sure of myself, Whenever like someone says that this is like a month course or 3 month or whatever, suddenly I get a feeling of, whether I'll be able to do that. Because previous, just 2 months back, I
That's
joined
why.
a.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's why I
Yeah,
said
but
that is why I said that I'll be evaluating that. So yeah. So
okay,
if you
okay.
cannot commit,
But
then yeah.
yeah, no, commit in the sense, what to say, 100% I want to do that, but I don't know, halfway, suddenly I become, very sad or depressed, or something happens to me, right? Because the previous, just 2 months back, a healing journey, it was in stages, like 3 stages. I completed 2 stages, and my master, like, he was very happy. Then suddenly something happened, and I didn't join the online class at all. I couldn't even connect to the that link button, a Zoom link button. It was so bad. So I don't know how to go with it. But really, I want to join. Like, if you could, but I don't know whether how to say that. They'll
I
continue or not. Some
understand.
kind of monkey mind, I can say. So the
Mm,
3 day
mm,
workshop, somehow I wrote on the wall also, I'm going to complete this 3 day. It's that bad.
mm.
It's not that not interested, not that word. I
Understand.
really want someone to
You
beat me
know,
and
you know
come to
yourself.
class.
You know yourself well. Yeah, you know yourself well that you will not be able to do it. Mm.
No, I really want. That's why I prefer, not online class, offline class, where someone will beat me and say, "Come sit in the class." Don't look here and there. So, but, so,
Okay,
yes, sir.
no
Only
problem.
that much. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Thanks. Yes, sir. Okay, guys.
Yes,
So that's basically it from my side. Anything, any question before we wrap up?
One question, Agarma. When are you going to have that assessment call?
Yeah, whoever is going to message me, I'll see. We'll just find time, and yeah, one we will see. As people message me, then we'll find time mutually at whatever time suits next coming week. So what is Thursday today? Tomorrow we are starting the workshop. So next 3 days I won't have any time, because the next workshop is starting. So maybe next week from Monday we'll see. Monday, Tuesdays are usually good for me. Monday, Tuesday, we don't keep any coaching calls. So Monday and Tuesdays are mostly free for this kind of thing. So whoever messages will find a mutually agreeable time on Monday or Tuesday and see.
Oh,
Okay, guys. Uh, Thank you for your time, and hopefully this was helpful. Um, and I wish you all the best. I know that this is quite an intense journey to be on.
It was a
When
very
even in,
beautiful session. It was
yeah,
very beautiful.
sometimes even I feel that even intense is probably not doesn't do justice. Like probably there is no word invented for this kind of experience. It feels like that sometimes.
Actually,
Mm.
it's more of a feeling, it's more of an experience. And at times the feelings cannot be put into the words. I mean, we cannot express them through words. It's just to feel what it is to
Yeah,
be
mm,
in this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was
It is very
so
intense,
helpful.
and yes, thanks, Tina. So yeah, I know that it is a phase where on one hand, not many people know about this, and especially the twin flame dynamics are so weird that even close family and people will not understand, in the sense that many a time, and this is again very common thing for many twin flames to fall for each other when either both of them are married, or one of them is married, or one of them is committed to someone, this and that. So there's so many dynamics involved.
Yeah.
And another common factor which is there is many times is age difference, which is there
Yeah.
and not acceptable and all that. And when we talk about age difference, we're not talking about 2, 3, 5 years age difference. Age difference can be as big as 25, 30 years as well.
Yeah.
Very common to have an age difference of 15 years between two people. So that's
Yeah.
another one. So many a times these
It-
dynamics are so weird that it first the two people involved, they themselves are struggling with these things, that how can it be possible? So I'm married, I'm
Yeah.
so happily married, and then how am I feeling this? So many a times they themselves are first struggling to come to terms with this thing. Forget about anybody else approving or not approving, they themselves don't know what to do about it. So this is such
Religion can be
confusing
one
and
of it,
so,
no? Religion
yeah,
also can be
religion is there.
community. Yeah. I think we choose the most toughest dynamics for ourselves.
Of course, dynamics like same sex, that's another
Um,
one. People
uh,
feeling that, they have always thought that they are straight, and then all of a sudden they just feel for this kind of person, and now they are even questioning their own sexuality about it. That what the fuck is this? Like, how can I feel like this? Like, if I'm a
True.
man, how can I feel like this for a man? Or if I'm a woman, how can I feel like this for a woman? And so many, it twists your mind so much that
Too much.
first it becomes hard to come to terms with that, and then once you come to terms with those things, then comes society and family and all those things and those battles, and then once that is done, then your own healing, your own traumas and all those things come into picture. So no wonder it takes people 15, 20 years to actually come to terms with this whole thing, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just keeps going on in circles like that. It's very
Exactly.
complex, and uh, someone was, I think Anusha was saying that it sounds. Anusha, you have no idea what you are thinking. That it sounds um, so interesting and all that. Um, yeah, yeah. This is not something to feel like that. Look forward to it. Like if you haven't uh, fall for it, you think that one day I will be. Yeah, I would think that uh, this is extremely excruciating here. So uh, it comes to people who are ready for it, who, as I said, that considered to be master souls, and they in languages like they are called the light workers and people who are supposed to be doing something for the society and taking the humanity forward, because these are the people who challenge the norms. These relationships challenge the standards, challenge the norm, and one of the things which is very common among this is showing people what unconditional love means. So
Definitely.
so this is what it is all about: showing the unconditional love side of things, challenging the norms of the society that love means this only and it should be like this only and that way only. So this is one of the reasons why these relationships have such weird shapes and forms. They're not very straightforward, because they're designed to challenge the norms of the society, and these people have been given the task to take this forward, to fight this battle out. But to fight that battle out, they first have to fight the battle inside, and that's the toughest part.
And like in my journey, if I say the biggest challenge is the community, the biggest challenge is the religion. It's not even the age gap. Age gap is also okay, but the biggest challenge is the community. And So it's like a challenge that actually have to go inside me, and I never thought that it's there. I mean, superficially, it's like I'm okay with everything, but inside it's a big challenge that I have to go through. And same goes for him also. So yeah, I think the dynamics are really challenging because it's something that we have to like set an example, because we are the master soul. So if we are having a purpose to heal the humanity, that cannot be done through normal examples. It has to be something challenging where we ourselves were ready to challenge ourselves and go through it, and then help others to see it, that it's nothing just a story in my mind, or something like my belief systems that we've been having as individuals.
Exactly, exactly. Um, if we are going to heal the humanity, we are part of that humanity. So we have to heal ourselves first as well. We are we
Yeah,
going out and doing it for everyone, and we ourselves haven't done it as much. Doesn't make any sense.
yeah, true, true.
Um, Srilata, your hand was up. You wanted to say something.
Yes, I wanted to ask, is it mandated to have the age gap?
No, no, no. It's not mandatory. There is nothing mandatory. I'm saying that many of these things are very common. Like the exceptional cases, like when people normally will not go in those kind of areas. So twin flames, it's very common for twin flame connections to be, you know, what do you call it? Um, not not the
It's
standard one.
like, uh, it's like, yeah, to go out of the norm, which will not be
Yeah,
accepted by society, then
which will
there
not
is some factor.
exactly, exactly.
Okay.
This is something
Because
which will
my
be.
mhm,
Mm, yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yours,
my twin flame is actually 1 year younger to me, but our
right,
factor is it's like he's in the other continent.
right, right.
So there is long distance.
Yeah,
And also, even though it is long distance, I also wanted to ask, is there a kind of an obsession which comes while you're chasing? Like, even though you're so aware of that, yes, you should not be obsessed about that person. You are supposed to focus on yourself. But this obsession, it keeps happening. How, no matter how
yeah.
you keep growing, how evolved you can't avoid that. That's kind of like a magnetic pull, which I call it obsession because it's not good.
Yeah. That is one of the criteria. That's what I was saying. That some criteria are very set. That this pull that you feel for each other, this attraction that you feel for each other, is dangerously devastating, because for that reason only you cannot break the connection. If it
Yes,
was
yes,
any other relationship, you would have easily just broken it and gone separate ways. But uh,
yes.
but
It's like
but
the
because
red
of this,
string you have.
but because of this like devastatingly um, attraction that you have for each other, that's why people say neither we can live together nor we can live apart. So
Yeah,
it's just
yes,
not possible for them to break the connection and just call it like just call that now we are broken up. So they may go separate ways and live separately for a while, but they will not declare that we've broken up, because they will not, like, they will not officially declare it that it's a breakup. It's just it's just
yes,
too painful to accept that. and
yes.
uh,
And
and
also,
that
I've
that's the
observed.
reason, that is what
Sorry.
creates this toxicity.
Yes,
That's what creates this toxicity in the relationship. Yeah. But what you are saying,
exactly.
it is true. On one side it is true, but once the healing has started, and then, as I said, that once the healing has started and the healing has actually worked, you will ultimately realize that it was a carrot on the stick anyway. It was
Hmm.
that thing will fade away. So if it is not fading away yet, that is only indicating that your healing is not complete, and more needs to be done. If you feel that I'm doing the work and yet I am not able to do that, then work is still pending.
Yes, that is definitely a pointer. Like you can self-evaluate yourself whenever this is happening. You're healing yourself, you will definitely see something externally.
You will start to see the healing, or the healing itself means developing that divine quality in yourself. So when the divine masculine and divine feminine has arisen within you, then whatever you were finding attractive in the other person is already in you. So
Yes,
so
yes,
it will not be about the other person anymore after that. It is only right now it is like that because that part is lacking in you, which you find attractive in the other person,
that
and
is
you don't
so
want to
true.
let go of that. So the moment that part is developed within you, it's not that you will be able to let go, it will be dropped off automatically, it will just fall off.
Yeah.
So that's the healing process. That is what I'm talking about.
So it's
This
like
is
we are
exactly what I
supposed,
am talking.
yeah. So it's exactly like that person is just mirroring what it's supposed to be healed in you, and he's unlocking the qualities in you so that you do
Exactly.
what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whether
Exactly.
I'm there or
Exactly.
not there. Yeah. And
So
today is actually a
both
special day.
people. Mhm.
Sorry.
In
Today,
what way?
actually, I
In
wanted to
what way?
share this with everyone. Numerologically, today is a day when it is like my birthday number and his birthday number are together in the date. So this date keeps occurring, and I used to ask universe like, see, I don't think he's my true twin flame. I think it's the end now. I can't keep going. I can't keep pushing. I want to give up on this journey. And I was
Hmm.
like, no, you will not. Today, you kept this session of twin flames right on the date, which I keep seeing it all the time. And it's like I'm manifesting it by myself, but my outside world is also mirroring the same things to me. Like, don't give up
Hmm.
when it is going to happen. Just at the tail
Hmm.
end, don't give up. This is a
Mhm.
sign. So I really want to thank you. Yeah. I don't care if
So,
union happens or not.
so
Only thing
Shrilata,
is,
that's why I think akarma will also be, maybe that's why there is a very often term used in this twin flame journey is divine timing. So there is a
yeah,
time for everything. You cannot do anything. You cannot control it. You have to let your go ego. You have to let all the control and
Mm.
surrender and work on yourself. Focus on yourself. You cannot pull your twin. I mean, energetically, yes, but to an extent.
yeah.
That effort has
The
to be
thing
from
is, like,
that
we
person.
can't manipulate the nature. We can't manipulate the universe to give
Yeah.
me now. I want it now.
No,
It's
no.
not
That
gonna
that
happen.
that's a control that we all have from the ego.
Yes,
Ego likes to
that is
control,
so
no?
Mm.
true.
Yeah, ego likes to control, and the moment the control goes, ego is like, what? What are you saying?
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
you can't choose it. It is choosing you. You can't choose it.
It is
The
Yeah, yeah.
choosing
journey is
you.
not
Exactly.
chosen by us.
Exactly.
You
Exactly. It
put
is not.
on
But,
us.
but I guess
You cannot.
awakening is in
You
my
cannot
hand.
You cannot unsubscribe from it. You cannot
Yes, yes.
subscribe to it. You cannot unsubscribe from it. But yes, the 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 work is in your hand, and the choice is yours whether you want to do the work or not do the work. So
Yeah.
um, often the reason that twin flame has come in your life in a physical form is an indication that it is now required in this lifetime for you to do that work, because perhaps in previous lifetimes you have ignored it. So the the reason that physically your twin flame comes in your life is for that reason, that you need to take
It's
control
like we
and you need
can't
to.
even run away from our purpose. We can't run
You
away
cannot.
from our
You
purpose.
cannot. You cannot. You can want to. You can. You
Yeah.
can say I don't want to do it. Like you can postpone it. You don't. But then you know that if you're
Hmm.
not working on yourself, then what kind of life you are living? So the life itself becomes so hellish that
Hmm.
you can decide I don't want to work on myself. I don't want to do any healing work for myself. But then you know how life will be like. It's just like a rabbit hole. So the only way out is in. You have to go in and see through this and work through this.
So,
You
But
karma,
can
do
come
you?
one
out this.
thing, okay.
Okay.
I wanted to
Hmm.
ask one thing, like I'm just curious. See, I just get married to a soulmate and just be happy. I can do that, but
Of
I
course,
cannot ignore my
of course.
purpose. Is that it?
No, no. Again, see,
No?
again, you missed the point when I said that when the rebirth happens and you realize that it was never about union with your twin. The
Yeah.
whole the whole point was that this person came in your life so you can go on this journey, because this person was like a prize. So right now
Yes.
you're doing it like a prize, right? You feel that if I'll do my healing work, if they will also do their healing work, then we will be together. So this person is like a prize, but and the prize has to be yours. So God has put a prize in front of you, saying you do this work, you get this prize. And then as you do this work, you realize that I don't need that prize. I already had that. So it was a carrot on the stick. It, but you needed to see that in order to move. But as you start to move, you finally come to the seventh stage of sacred union. And the sacred union is not about union with your twin. Sacred union is the union of your own divine feminine and your own divine masculine. That is the sacred union.
So if I want to do the work, but I'm very tired and I don't want to do it alone, the universe will help me, like send people my way to achieve that. Or it's gonna be solo.
That's
I'm supposed
no,
to
no.
do it
I'm just,
solo.
I'm just laughing on that question because
Because
we are
I'm
right
very
now
tired.
talking. No, I'm saying because right now we are talking and you're still asking that question.
No, at least I need some help from the universe at least. I don't care about the dangling carrot. I have left it. I
So
don't.
you don't think that me organizing this call, you coming on this call, you attending this call is what the
Yeah.
universe is already. So this is why I'm
Yeah.
laughing that you're asking that question
It's in
while
front
you're
of
on the
me.
call. You're saying when will universe? It's like there's this joke that one guy dies and then he goes to heaven and he's the first thing he says, I want to see God because I have complained and he say, and they take him to God and he says, whole whole of my life I have dedicated to you. I prayed 5 times to you and all that, and then when I was drowning, you didn't help me. And he said, I did. I sent you help 3 times. And he said, when? And there were these 3 ships that come and they asked, try to save him. And he says, no, no, God will save me. And then he drowned. And you are,
That's fun.
and this is I found funny when she said that will universe show us or bring us or guide us and all that. And we are right now talking on the call and she's saying that. I'm finding it funny. Hmm.
The thing is, like, I'm too stubborn to accept the help. I'll accept that. Don't want help from anyone. Even
Yeah,
God
yeah,
is
that's
sending
okay.
in front of me, people are there to help. I don't want to ask. I don't know why I
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
So,
stubbornness.
so, so that is what we were talking now, that the one twin can choose to work, the other one cannot. They will come the long way. So I think it's
Mm.
about the choices as individuals we make, right? Because yes, twin flame generally also is about the two individuals becoming, maybe they are master souls, it's a purpose. But if I don't choose to heal myself, God will keep sending me, the people will keep sending me, but I'm the one who's not choosing. Then what God can do? Because we all are born with a free will. He cannot interfere in our free will, no?
Yes,
Hmm.
that is true.
Anyway, I think you have your answer, Srilata. You are because you are saying you are playing from both sides. You are saying, will God send me help? And then you are also saying that, but I'm too stubborn to take help. So I think you're playing from both sides. So see, when you will stop playing from both sides, and when it will become very very urgent for you, then you will move. Until then, you won't.
Yeah, I'm a last minute 11th hour person.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe it's not 11th hour for you. So maybe it's not as urgent for you, and that's fine. This is the reason why I was saying that. Although I am opening up 7 spots, I'm still going to be evaluating because this is like from I've been doing coaching work for 20 plus years, and in all these times, I have always selected my friends. I've never worked with anyone who just comes and says I want to do this. So I always select because I know that the kind of energy and everything that I put in, um, I want I want the clients to match that energy, and if they are not able to, then it doesn't matter whether the person needs it or not. So I know that I'm not saying you don't need it or it's anything, but again, like if I cannot be working harder than you, so if you're not ready, then you're not ready, and I will not push it. I will only evaluate it. I will only just see that if there or not there, and if it's not there, it's good. If it's there, it's good. But that alignment has to be there. Otherwise, there's no fun in doing the work.
But can I ask, is this it's free or paid?
It will be paid. It will be paid.
Okay.
I cannot invest 3 months of my time for free on this.
Yes, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we will do that, and the group coaching. Our reason for that is that it becomes cost effective for everyone. My time gets the price of my time gets divided among people. So instead of one person paying for my time, now people together will be paying for my time. So then the cost gets divided among seven people. So it becomes more cost effective for everyone. Okay. All right, guys. So we'll wrap up here. It's almost 2 hours. Um, we'll continue the chat in the group. If you need any other questions, if you have any other questions, then please message in the group. Let's wrap up the call now. Dinner time also. Okay. So good night,
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you.
was really, really insightful and very helpful. Thank you.
And,
And good
and
night. Good night,
good night.
everyone.
Thank you.
Take
Good night.
care.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.